Yo, welcome to Cherokee Now. Today we have Sam Lambert, Warren Dupree, and Mr. Hunt. Was it Sam?
Gregory.
Gregory. I apologize, Gregory. Joining the show, you gentlemen are members of the Steve Youngdeer Post 143 and are here to talk a little bit about your Veterans Honor Ceremony Day at the Cherokee Indian Fair, as well as just to share a little insight on the military and what that means for our public and those that are interested in potentially joining. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Each of you introduce yourself and tell us about what you've done.
Gregory Hunt, United States Marine Corps, medically retired. 3 tours, Beirut, Grenada, 8.5 years, finished up as a drill instructor, and just loved every minute of it.
Awesome. Okay.
Sam Lambert, I'm a Vietnam veteran. I did 2 tours in 67 and 68 on the boats off the USS Union, and we carried Marines and supplies up the rivers in Da Nang.
All right.
Warren Dupree, and United States Navy, 1968 or 67 to 1973, 2 tours in Vietnam, 1968, 1969. Came home, went to college, Western, and got into the Coast Guard Reserve, and then I got into the Army Reserve for the remainder of my career. 2 wars, Vietnam, and the first Persian Gulf War.
Okay.
35 years, 8 months, and 5 days total service.
My goodness, that's a lot of service. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your services to our country and to our tribe, representatives of our tribe. It's an amazing feat. And let's talk a little bit about that. What would you say to folks out there, young men, young women that are maybe considering a career or a future in the military?
When I ended up finishing up in high school all those years ago, I knew that I didn't really want to go off to college.
Right.
And when you turn 18 legally, your parents are no longer responsible for you.
Right.
You have to make your own way in life. And life is just not about you as an individual. It's
Right.
about what you can pay back. My parents and that family, that group of family, they were all World War II veterans.
Okay.
And they always shared with us that we had a military obligation to this country. Nothing is free. And for me, not wanting to go on to college, but wanting to do something that I could do
Right.
from the very beginning all the way through it was the United States Armed Forces, the military.
Okay.
It's an honorable profession. They're all different categories, occupations
Right.
that you can get into. So it doesn't mean that you're going to be a grunt in a trench. You can fly aircraft. You can work in the medical field, the electronic field, everything.
Okay.
And you challenge yourself. You realize that I can do this. Both men and women, our young men and women, they have an opportunity that I'm sure, I would like to relive.
Right. Mr. Hunt, what was some of your early I guess obstacles when you signed up and you go through boot camp? What did you face?
Well, I was actually a sophomore in college.
Okay.
And it was during the Iran hostage crisis in 1978 timeframe. And I realized sitting in a college classroom that I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself.
Awesome.
I wanted to be patriotic. So I went down, saw the recruiter, signed up, had no clue what I was getting myself into. I stepped on the yellow footprints at Paris Island, South Carolina, about 2:30 a.m., and it's like, oh my God, what have I done?
Right.
But I have not regretted a single moment of it.
Good.
It changed me. It made me the man I am today.
All right.
The opportunity was there, and after my military service, I did go back to college, finish up, and have lived a great life because of the Marine Corps, and I still stay connected with the United States Marine Corps heavily.
Awesome. And Mr. Lambert, what did you do? What kind of jobs did you have? What was one of your most memorable moments during your service time?
Well, all of them were basically pretty good moments. You had some times when you were in country that probably weren't real good, but I enjoyed the countries that I got to see. We would leave Vietnam for a period of time and move around through Asia.
Okay.
I visited Bangkok, Thailand. I was all over Japan. I was in the Philippines.
Right.
I even went down to Australia. So the travel and was worth the time that I spent.
Good. And now there's a certain camaraderie that comes after the service.
And even during it.
And during the service, there's a
yes.
certain family you build, a
Sure
certain
is.
a spot in line that you're given, and you're held responsible to that. Tell me a little bit about the Steve Youngdeer Post and how that fits in and plays in after
The Steve Youngdeer Post is really unique. Chris, it was chartered in 1938
Okay.
by our World War I veterans.
Uh-huh.
And of course, they're all gone now, but we
Right.
continue that. And it's the oldest American Legion post among the Native American tribes across this nation. So we
Alright.
have that distinction. And when you are a member of, when you get off active duty, the first thing you want to do is not associate yourself with anything or anybody, but you acquire in the military a discipline, and with discipline comes self-discipline. But you eventually, within a few years or so, you begin to miss that camaraderie.
Right.
And you seek out these veteran service organizations because you know that these fellow servicemen and women have endured pretty much what you have gone
Right.
through. And they will understand when you share your thoughts
Right.
with them. So that's why we seek out these veteran service organizations. And the Steve Youngdeer Post
Yeah.
is we're all unique. And we're all characters.
Right.
Everybody has their character.
Right.
Which makes it even more, and we can share those moments, both horrific and comical, and they will totally understand.
And there was some jabbing on our way up, which I enjoy. So which branch of the military is the better one to get into?
The Marine Corps.
The Marine Corps.
If I had to voice it out to a young person, and I thought about this, and this is what I share
Uh-huh.
with young men and women. 5 branches. Air Force is number 1. Literally.
It is.
Coast Guard, number 2.
Okay.
Navy, number 3. United States Army, number 4. And the Marine Corps is on the bottom of the list.
Okay.
But I'll tell you why. The Air Force, when we were in the desert during Desert Shield Desert Storm,
Uh-huh.
we were living in holes in the ground like a bunch of animals, waiting for the ground war to kick off. Well, the Air Force was down the road living in air-conditioned tents, ice cream machines, color TVs, and they are taken extremely well care of
Okay.
by their
Okay.
leadership.
All right.
So, I mean, it's just.
But the Marine Corps would disagree.
Yeah, and actually, what I would tell the young folks is look at all 5 branches of service.
Right.
Determine what you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
And then you choose the branch of service that fits that. Because if you want to be in the medical field, the Marine Corps is not the place.
Right.
Marine Corps, we don't have any medical fields. We utilize the Navy.
Okay.
If you want to go into telecommunications, you look at maybe the Air Force or the Army. But that's the primary thing is look at what you want to be
Right.
in your life and what career goals you have set, and then you choose the branch of service. Now, if you don't mind living in the mud and eating dehydrated MREs, and well, when I was in, it was sea rats in the can. If you don't mind doing that and running around playing G.I. Joe, then you join the Marine Corps.
All right.
But if you want to stay clean and look pretty, then you join one of the other branches.
United States Navy.
But a lot of respect to all the men and women that sign up and that participate and
Absolutely.
volunteer their energy and efforts into that. So if someone's curious, can they contact you and how what would be the best
Absolutely.
practice to do this?
Well, speaking for myself, I'm the post service officer at the Steve Youngdeer
Okay.
Post and have been for several years. But as a veteran,
Mhm.
my cell number is 508-2657, and I encourage any young person in our community, if you want to know more,
Right.
give me a call, and we would invite you to a business
Absolutely.
meeting on a monthly basis, or come by and visit with us, and we can share with you and be very honest with you
Right.
exactly what is involved in the military.
Good.
To encourage, and we encourage you to do that.
Good. And there's not a there's a cutoff on age, I'm sure at some point, but if someone's already out of high school for a year or two, they can still get involved, correct?
You can get back into the armed forces up to age 42.
There you go.
Mhm.
And I'm sure there's some folks out there that
Yeah.
would be interested or could be
And
interested.
if you wanted to wait that later in life
Mm-hmm.
to make that transition and do a tour
Mhm.
of enlistment, you can wait up until you're about 42 years old.
Okay, good. All right, so let's talk a little bit now about the Veterans Honor Ceremony Day during our annual fair. Tell me a little bit about what the plans are.
I'll touch briefly, and then I'll turn it over
Okay.
to Gregory here, the Marine. He's got some really good, interesting things on that.
Awesome.
We are working with Frida Husky, the
Okay.
Fairgrounds, and she approached us several years ago to assist in the Veterans Honor Ceremony.
Okay.
What a better group to help organize that than a group of veterans, because we know exactly how we can put this together in a meaningful and very wonderful way
Excellent.
to honor our veteran community. And this year, and it will be at the Cherokee Now Pier Friday, October the 5th.
Okay.
And we have a really good schedule for that day's event. And I'm going to let Gregory share with you how we're going to open that ceremony that particular day.
Absolutely.
What we're going to do is, for the first time, is we're going to have a Vietnam Veteran pinning ceremony. What that entails is, in 2008, the Defense Appropriation Bill included a commemoration for the Vietnam War.
Okay.
To thank and honor the Vietnam veterans that didn't get that appreciation when they came home from Vietnam. So that they created the 50th Vietnam War commemoration, and that is run through the Department of the Defense. Each year, the President signs a proclamation setting aside Vietnam Veterans Day. The pinning ceremony is a way to personally thank and welcome home the Vietnam veterans respectfully and honorably, like they should have been. We have Major General Arnold Fields, United States Marine Corps retired, who works for DOD, is actually coming into Cherokee on October 5th to be with us. He will be escorted by Master Sergeant Leandra Felder. Got one of those weird first names. But they will be coming in to present lapel pins for the 50th Vietnam War commemoration for Vietnam veterans. The Vietnam veterans, they don't have to be in country. It was anyone who served from November 1st of 1955 to May 15th of 1975.
Okay.
If you served on active duty during that 20-year period, regardless of where you served, U.S., Europe, South Pacific, Asia, wherever, you're entitled and you're considered a Vietnam War veteran.
All right.
So we're anticipating we're planning on 500. That's our goal.
Yeah.
But if we have less, that's fine.
Okay.
We do an actual pinning ceremony where they receive the lapel pin. In addition to the Vietnam War veteran being recognized, we recognize the spouses and the family members of POW, MIAs, those that are on the wall that didn't make it home. We honor their family with lapel pins and certificates as well. Major General Fields will also be singing the national anthem. He has an operatic baritone voice, beautiful singer.
Can't wait to hear that.
Yep. So he will be singing, and he's still one of these. He's not your typical general officer. He will run in, snap to attention, salute you. He's still got it, even at his age. We've used him to sing the national anthem at a baseball game in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at one of our events. Master Sergeant Felder that's coming in with him has been his aide for about 4 years.
Okay.
They're going to actually have a table set up. So anybody that want to get information on the commemoration, they can come in and do it. And this year we actually got the Steve Youngdeer American Legion Post 143 listed as a commemorative partner with the commemoration program, which entitles us to be able to, any Vietnam veteran that we don't get during the fair, we can do a ceremony later. The goal is to walk in front of every Vietnam veteran in America and say, thank you, welcome home, here's a lapel pin to show our appreciation and gratitude.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we want to plan on November the 11th, Veterans Day this year, for an initial pinning ceremony. At our,
to pick up any of the others that we
don't
get that in October.
Also during the that morning, we'll have the Veterans Walk.
Okay.
So we ask that all veterans and their family join us for the Veterans Walk.
What time do we start the walk?
The walk will be starting at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll walk from the red light over here at McDonald, where the KFC is.
Okay.
And we'll go up to the memorial, and so we'd love to have everybody come in, and then we'll have a meal for the veterans.
Good.
And go from there.
The walk itself, we have T-shirts that are really unique.
Okay.
Olive, drab, green, but they're really nice. Good fabric that every veteran who's there for the walk will receive a T-shirt. And we also have reached out to Cherokee Army Junior ROTC, Cadet Cadre, as well as Swain County Air Force ROTC. They will be on site to escort and walk with our veterans.
That's excellent.
They really enjoy, these young men and women really enjoy interacting with our veteran community, or any veteran community. So they'll be there to escort. For the walk, they will also be on site to help serve the meal and help the veterans get placed to help and just work with them. And we at the meal, we have something really unique for all these veterans that are there. Metal trays, metal food trays. Now, if you served in the armed forces at one time or another, you have eaten off a metal food tray. It's not only a food tray, but it's a deadly weapon if you have to use it. And they will be labeled with a unique memento on it.
Cool.
Everyone will be they'll be handed to our veterans that are there, and they'll be labeled with something unique for that particular day. So
That's amazing.
It'll be a keepsake.
Awesome. Well, we hope people come out for that. Again, that's on Friday, October the
5th.
5th.
If
Friday,
they could,
October the 5th.
veterans and family members,
Are
please try
welcome.
to be there about 9:30.
Okay.
And in prep for the walk itself.
Excellent.
We will have carts for those who are not really mobile.
Yeah.
We realize that we will have veterans
Right.
with that special need.
Good.
So we'll have carts to move them to the Veterans Park.
Okay.
And just then from there to the lunch tent on the
All
fairgrounds.
right. Well, gentlemen, it sounds like a busy day.
And one thing also during the open ceremony, we're going to be doing a POW MIA ceremony.
Okay.
Because what we want to do is honor and remember those that won't be physically with us on that day.
Okay.
So we remember them, their loved one. It's
Right.
a special, solemn celebration and a ceremony. So if anyone has not seen a POW MIA ceremony, I would highly encourage them to
Okay.
be there for that.
You would consider it a worship service.
Yes.
Okay.
A very
Awesome.
moving worship service, remembering those who have given their lives.
Absolutely. The ultimate
And,
sacrifice.
we also have, during the opening ceremony, presentation of quilts of valor that the Smoky Mountain Quilters Guild.
You've been doing that for years.
They have been doing that for years, and we have a roster of 15. Every year we always include those who were not able to get one
Right.
this year. So we move on continually.
Okay.
And we'll have that presentation during the opening ceremony.
Okay.
And then we have the Wings to Soar, the birds of prey that have been here for the last few years.
Okay.
They bring their birds of prey, the bald
Right,
bald
right.
eagle, red-tailed hawks.
There's
and
something
they-
for all ages to be
all
seen
age
and,
group,
and
yeah.
experienced.
And it'll give our younger generations an opportunity to interact and visit with veterans
Right.
in the community, and to see exactly how we honor and celebrate
Right.
being a veteran.
And it's important to connect and educate folks on that,
It
to
really
put those two
truly
pieces
is.
together.
And we also have the Spartanburg Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
They have a rifle drill team who
Okay.
are precision drill team. They will be here to do 2 performances during the course of that day on stage. So,
Okay.
and if you've never seen precision drill and ceremony, they take it to a level that's absolutely stunning.
That's exciting.
And it's what we as veterans, we watch that, and we're really critical of
Good.
Manual of Arms, but they're really, really good.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we get off the air?
Well, not only do we want the veterans and their family to come out, we want the young people to come out as well.
Right.
We want them to see and be a part of it so we can tell them our story, so we can help, because we have to tell the kids our story so our stories continue. Let them come up in the right light.
Right.
Show them good role models. And that's what, as veterans, that's what we all strive for, is leaving a legacy. And if we can get our young people out to see the veterans and be with the veterans on this day, that will help continue the legacy and show them there's a better way than being on the street or
Absolutely.
doing something else. It's our way of giving back and being part of something bigger than ourselves.
Very good.
Our motto is honor, duty, country.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate certainly all of your sacrifices and everything you've done for us.
Thank you, Chris.
And we look forward to supporting you in any way we can moving forward, okay?
you.
All right,
Thank
thanks, Chris.
Thank
Been a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
And that'll be it for today. If you're listening at home and would like to comment on the show or ask questions regarding what we've discussed today, please comment on our EVCI Cherokee Now Facebook page at Facebook.com/Cherokee Now. We'll see you again very soon. Data Dog with me.